Shit crack.
Tailgate jumping. Bills from Buffalo, I bet they loving this heat. Panthers from the Carolinas, Bengals, Cincinnati. Dog pound in the house, repping Cleveland, Ohio. Denver on the scene, and they repping them Broncos. The weather beautiful, it ain't a cloud in the sky. I see them Lions, Titans, and Bears on my.
You might not like my team, we might be rivalry.
Whatever it is, make sure you respect me.
We gon' always trash talk in season and off,
but not too serious.
Gotta keep it football. You might not like my team, we might be rivalry.
Whatever it is, make sure you respect me.
We gon' always trash talk in season and off,
but not too serious.
Gotta keep it football.
Green Bay tailgating, yelling go pack go. LA Rams, LA Chargers, Indianapolis Colts. Kansas Chiefs celebrating like it's still Super Bowl. Houston, Texas came deep and fired up the grill. Briskets, baby back, the issue just got real. Jacksonville Raider fans, all love, no hating. Miami Dolphins, Minnesota, New England Patriots. This is epic, all teams 32 tailgating.
You might not like my team, we might be rivalry.
Whatever it is, make sure you respect me.
We gon' always trash talk in season and off,
but not too serious.
Gotta keep it football. You might not like my team, we might be rivalry.
Whatever it is, make sure you respect me.
We gon' always trash talk in season and off,
but not too serious.
Gotta keep it football.
New York came through, both Giants and Jets. Trash talking done started, both sides placing bets. New Orleans Saints set up shop like we on Bourbon Street. It's so nice to see the Washington football team. Philadelphia Eagles came through with the game. 49ers showing out, representing the Bay. Police showed up to make sure we was straight. They gave us love and respect, and we made them play. Seattle Seahawks, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the AFC, the NFC, man, they all up in here. Black and yellow on repeat from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ladies shaking pom-poms, tailgating cheerleaders. The DJ on 5 playing all the hits, man. Everyone here, this tailgate mad lit. Dallas Cowboys showed up and they was deep as slow. They was chatting, dance, stepping, yelling, Cowboy up!
You might not like my team, we might be rivalry.
Whatever it is, make sure you respect me.
We gon' always trash talk in season and off,
but not too serious.
Gotta keep it football. You might not like my team, we might be rivalry.
Whatever it is, make sure you respect me.
We gon' always trash talk in season and off,
but not too serious.
Gotta keep it football.
We gonna always talk trash in season and all, but not too serious. Y'all gotta keep it football, man. We're gonna keep it football here today. What's going on, everybody? We are live in the gym, and shout out to my Green Bay supporter, Lady Vice, up there in Ohio, you know, near the birthplace of football, Canton. That's getting ready to kick off, man. I got a big show for everybody today. We are live here late in the gym on a Saturday. It is Supporter Saturday. We got a big show, man. I got a lot of stuff to go through here today. But as always, we want to give shouts out to everybody on the platforms. We're live on today on Facebook. So shout out to BDG, OAT, and in the Cowboy Cousins group. And we're live on YouTube. So shout out to everybody watching on YouTube too as well. We love the YouTubers over there. We like to make sure you stay up to date with what we got going on. But we keeping it football here today because a lot of folks just think this content is centered around Dallas Cowboys, which, you know, quite frankly, it is just a little bit. But as you've seen that video coming in there, and as you see this article up here next to me, shout out to our guy, Chase Smith, who was actually voted the Dallas Cowboys NFL Fan of the Year. Now, this was before James Wright, a.k.a. Soup Man. But we keep it football here because we have Liz, who's also the Jets Fan of the Year, who we're set to face week 2. So word on the street is we're trying to get here to get Fan of the Year from the Jets over there. Liz, we'll have her up on the show. But shout out to all of the Green Badges rolling today. Like I said, we got a big show. So shout out to everybody watching on all platforms. Shout out to everybody at SportsCon. I think that's probably where everybody's at right now. Shout out to the guy, West Coast Cowboy out there, boots on ground with Henny DeMoore, landlord, Alabama. Was it? Yeah. Alabama landlord. Y'all know who he is out there. They're doing big things out there. bringing that boots on ground sports content. So shout out to Andy Albert, founder out there, you know, the cousin of Tony Romo. We talked a little bit about SportsCon here, shared my experience here, especially if you're a Green Badge supporter. Shout out to the Green Badges. You know the secret timeline. I have that vlog there, that video that you could see on the featured post, and that's a great segue as we move through some content here in the show today. I want to make sure that everybody is up to date on what they need to do around these parts so you can stay up to date with what we got going on. And as you can see here, this is the OAT group. So shout out to everybody in OAT. We're live right now. We got to do some group business right quick. Make sure if you haven't voted yet, as you can see, I was live here. You go to the discussion, you check out the featured post here, scroll over. Make sure you go to the poll that is still active. Shout out to everybody who's contributed to the poll. 1.6 thousand votes. We're tracking pretty well through the middle of July right now. We want to get 35 to 40% of our group to at least see this post. So make sure when you vote on it, you tag somebody in it. Now, this is in the exclusive group, Official America's Team. This is a fan page on BDG that supports that. So that way you guys can find out what's going on out in the open, especially all the other Cowboy fans that would like to become part of this group. Every July we vote in OAT who the favorite player of the group is, past or present. And right now, Emmitt Smith is got a wide margin at 28%. So if you like Emmitt, get up there and cast your vote. It looks like Emmitt may be a repeat champion. Not like that's something new to him, right? Well, let's get some shout outs, man. Let's see who's rolling with you. You know, it wouldn't be a show without a Facebook user. It's probably somebody in the Cowboy Cousin group over there. Make sure if you're watching here and you haven't already, make sure you register with StreamYard. Y'all know BG while in the gym, I like to put a name with a face, but shout out to the Facebook users tapping in here today. Oh, that's RC. Shout out to my guy, RC, who is down here in Washington State. We're going to be linking up here in a couple of hours. I know my guy from AK is down from, you know, all that ice up there in Alaska, everything. He's down here to see a show tonight. So shout out to the supporter, RC from AK. He's down here, boots on ground. But I see you out there, cousin. And shout out to my guy, Mike Rock. You know, he's leading the way for Gym Rats of the Month again. I mean, this guy continues to take things to a new level. If you weren't paying attention, I mean, before the show was even underway 10 minutes, this guy was posting in the comment section on YouTube of all places. So thank you for the support over there on YouTube, Mike Rock, especially all the subs over there. I got some YouTube news we're going to talk about here today. You know, let's just go through a few things that we got to do for the show here today. We're going to talk about Gym Rat of the Month status, let you know how you can win some cool prizes. I got a cool prize we're going to unveil here today. But make sure you get your votes in over there on OAT for your favorite player, past or present. But as we go through the show notes here, I want to make sure everybody gets a good idea of what we're talking about here every Saturday. If you're brand new, make sure, leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. But if you're brand new here, every Saturday, we do Supporter Saturdays. And quite frankly, we just highlight all of our supporters. As you can see, many of them here in the gym. They're built differently. As you know, it's July 15th. We got 11 days away before the first open practice at training camp. So shout out to everybody going out there to training camp. If you didn't catch that update on the BDG timeline, make sure you check out that training camp news you can use about those folks right there living next to camp who are complaining about Jerry and them obstructing the view. I don't know what they got going on over there, but you can check out that full story is on the timeline. Make sure you check it out. But we got the Shark Week reminder. We're going to talk about Kenny the Shark. You know, we got Shark Week coming up on Discovery, 23rd through the 30th of this month. You know, I got my big question of the show. We're going to get to that here in just a second. So we're going to talk some Cowboys here. It's not always about supporters, but it is. But we're going to pivot to some Cowboys talk to as well. So make sure you tap in. I'm going to have a big question for the show. And then we got the Spence versus Crawford fight on July 29th, which also happens to be your quarterback's birthday. So shout out to Dak Prescott. You know, put a 4 in the air for Dak Prescott. His birthday is on July 29th. So a lot of things happening still in the month of July. Those are the things that we're going to talk about here today. So if you're just brand new to the show, make sure you leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. We are on Supporter Saturdays. Yay. And just get comfortable if you haven't already in the gym, and make sure if you're a green badge, you get on that bar. It is time to raise the bar, baby. Y'all know the deal. Let's go. If you haven't done so already, Mike Rock out there gets about 80% of all the shares. Man, I see some folks coming to the gym. You're not even raising the bar. How can you expect to get some gains in the gym when you don't want to perspire? So let's raise the bar before we get into this content here today. Shout out to all the green badges really getting that workout in today, helping this content grow. We've been doing a lot better, you know, on some of our views here. We've been averaging over about 1,000 views per video, which is pretty good during the off season, might I add. So we're developing some muscle here, and that's how we're going to continue to grow as we get ready to get into training camp. So raise the bar while we get into this content, y'all. What up, Troy Park? I see you said Jerry wants all the money. Yeah, you know, like obstructing those folks' views over there at training camp. I don't want to get sidetracked on training camp, but that's some latest of the news. I was live here on BDG and shared with y'all. They had a town hall meeting out there, and I guess trying to resolve some matters with some local residents. You know, per that report, man, it said them construction workers was peeping Toms in there trying to look at, you know, mothers and their daughters in their pajamas while they're doing some construction over there. So I don't know. Jerry maybe want to obstruct all the views, so make sure all the residents over there can't get a peek. You know, folks like vloggers and bloggers probably going to be up in there next thing you know, trying to get some film. So maybe they're trying to stop that, but I don't know. So I understand what you're saying, though, Troy. Make sure y'all check out that on the timeline and the latest on the training camp news that you can use. But let's get into the content. Like we said, we are on a second week of 4 weeks. We already unveiled the first prize. As you can see, it's my guy here, Ezekiel Elliott. We have a poster by one of our creators, one of our fan base creators in the OAT group. Shout out to my guy, Cesar Mancio in the DFW Metroplex. We are giving away another one of his posters that was introduced to you during the first Saturday. Like we said, every Saturday, we're going to go through the month. And on the 29th, like we said, Dak's birthday, Spence Crawford fight. Last Saturday of the month, we're going to announce all of the gym rats of the month. So to participate, if you want to be able to get in and be able to win this cool prize here today, the second prize we're going to give away for gym rat of the month this month is, we know the Dallas Cowboys are kicking off in the Big Apple. And we also go to Buffalo in December. And it's going to be cold out there, so you might need a scarf and some gloves, especially for my Boots on Ground fans. So this is official merchandise from Fanatics by Foco. I know my guy Mike Rock likes these, so a scarf and gloves has been added to the mix along with the Ezekiel Elliott poster. That is 2 of 4 prizes for your July Gym Rat of the Month challenge. So you say, well, what is a Gym Rat of the Month challenge if I'm just tapping in for the first time, BG? Well, like I tell you, you see all my guys and my gals in here today. They're in the gym pumping these weights. Not all NFL fans are built the same. As you see, we even open up the show promoting unity among all 32. We like to keep it football here. Yeah, we're some Cowboy fans. Yeah, we might get a little rowdy with you in the comments because, quite frankly, nothing attracts a Philadelphia Eagles fan more than a Dallas Cowboy post, and they just happen to migrate over here to my timeline. So we like to keep it football here, and we're going to continue to do that and promote all unity. So shout out to my supporter who has actually been the prototype for this concept. As a Charger fan, he's been a long-time supporter of the content here too as well. My guy Tomas Carrasco out there. So you can be a fan of the other 31 NFL football teams here and support the content. We want to promote that openness and unity here. Although we're a Cowboys-driven community, we still like to keep it football because we have fans like my Cowboy cousins that are out there that get boots on ground like those folks out there at SportsCon today. And we want to be able to connect you to that type of experience. Like Sarah said, nah, we different around here. Yeah, not all NFL fans are built the same. Not all NFL fans eat, sleep, you know what, their favorite football team. And if that is you and you're watching for the first time, you're more than welcome. Turn on your notifications. Join us this season. It's going to only get bigger and better as we develop this muscle here, especially with our supporters today. Like I said, we're 11 days away from the 26th of July. The Dallas Cowboys opening up their first open practice at training camp. So shout out to all them West Coast Cowboy fans. On the West Coast, you know, the best coast. You know, they're going to be deep out there at training camp, finding out what are they actually constructing out there, right? Like we said, we still have Shark Week going on. So let me get the page ready over there for y'all. I want to make sure everybody understands what we got going on for Shark Week. How many of y'all actually watch Shark Week every July? I need a show of hands. I need a show of hands. How many of y'all actually watch Shark Week? You know, the Dallas Cowboys have our own, very own shark, right? Y'all know who I'm talking about, right? Two-time Super Bowl winning Kenneth Gant, the Shark. Y'all know the Shark, baby. Well, check this out. We got a Shark Challenge going on in the Dallas Cowboy fan base, first of its kind. Like I said, we like to be built different around here. We do things a little bit differently, quite frankly, like my prototype Sarah says. If y'all know her story, couldn't walk about 6-7 years ago. Now she's up walking. So shout out to Sarah on her journey over there too as well. She's shedding in pounds out there in the summer. But if you know the Shark like I know the Shark, baby, we want to make sure you get featured during Shark Week this month. And as you can see, we got our very own Shark Challenge going on right there on Facebook. That is back in 2017, 18, I believe, at a Fan Zone event at the Daiquiri shop there. So shout out to Lisa and Cynthia Bowen. Y'all know the sisters that run Fan Zone. But he actually talked to me there for a few minutes. Actually, let me wear his Super Bowl ring. So shout out to the Shark. If you got a photo with the Shark, we want to see him. As you can see, many of them here in the comment section. Shout out to One Star Family. Y'all know they basically adopted the Shark. Shout out to my guy DJ Kai out there on the wheels on ground out there moving around in Arizona, getting all that stuff tidied up. We see you out there. But if you got photos with the Shark, we want to see them. Shout out to Kels. Y'all know DC Nation Fan Club. Y'all see her there. Shout out to my guy Pete Vasquez out there in Bakersfield, baby. Y'all seen him on the grill. Shout out to Shamika right there, you know. Big time Green Bay supporter here. President of the fan club, River City Fan Club out there on the East Coast. But we got our very own Shark, and that's what we're doing this month is we're celebrating the Shark from the 23rd to the 30th. Like we said, we got training camp kicking off that week too as well. So make sure you go over there, submit your photos. And that way, you know, that lets me know that, hey, you're okay with me posting that. We're going to post those photos of everybody with the Shark on the timeline during Shark Week as we kick off actual Shark Week hosted by Discovery. I see you out there, Kelly. Yeah, we know. We seen you in the photos. Kelly got the Master on speed dial as we got a big feature coming up on Master coming up. Let's get to some little pivot to some Cowboys content here today as we already talked about the prize. So shout out to all of the Gym Rats here. On the 29th, we're going to announce the Gym Rat prizes. Those who are winning, you say, how do we win? Well, you just need to be engaged on the content. Like my guy Mike Rock was, he was in the gym or waiting for the door to open at the gym before it was open, essentially. Let's get to the big question of the show today. Y'all know every Saturday I like to have a big question of the show. That way we can pivot to some Cowboys content. Because quite frankly, we know we got a bunch of freeloaders over here. Y'all know when you had like a barbecue during the summer. Shout out to everybody out there in Texas. I know it's hot as hell out there. But you got a barbecue, you know, folks come over, get a plate, take a bottle. They don't put in, but they walk out. You know, they leave more than what they came with, essentially, if you know what I mean. But we got a big question of the show here today. So we want everybody to get involved. And this is centered around our quarterback. As we said, July 29th is going to be Dak Prescott's birthday. And I want to know, who will Dak's new safety blanket be? Some of y'all may be new here. You might not be picking up what I'm putting down. You might not understand what that means actually. But for those of y'all that are picking up what I'm putting down, That question is to y'all out there. Who's going to be Dak's new safety blanket this season with all these receivers and these tight ends? You know, CeeDee Lamb led with receptions last season. The year before that, it was actually Dalton Schultz. And Dalton Schultz, quite frankly, just like Jason Witten for Tony Romo, was Dak's safety blanket. So who's going to be Dak's favorite target? That's what we're talking about when we mean safety blanket this season with the addition of Cooks. You know, we got Tolbert coming on, so we're going to pivot to some of this Cowboys content while we move through the rest of Supporter Saturday here today. So make sure if you're watching for the first time, you register with StreamYard. I want to make sure we put a name with a face here today. And I want to hear your input on who is going to be Dak's safety blanket this season, y'all. That's the big question of the show. What up, Park Ranger? I see you, man. Appreciate you tapping in here. Late in the gym. It's 5:20 on the West Coast. You know, we moving all around in the gym. You know, when your schedule changes, you got to change your gym schedule. You can't just stop going to the gym altogether because your regular schedule changes, right? You still got to have that dedication, that commitment. You know, that's the only way you're going to get gains here. So shout out to everybody in the gym here today. But Troy's saying Cooks or CD. Not bad. Especially as CeeDee Lamb is trying to get that bag from the Joneses right about now as wide receiver one money. There's a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans, quite frankly, don't believe CeeDee Lamb is wide receiver one. So let's expound on that conversation just a little bit further. Mike Rock says, Cook, man, look, that 4.3 speed. Speed kills, y'all. Speed kills. How many of y'all remember Bullet Bob Hayes? Huh? Speed kills, RIP to Bullet. Kelly says it might be Cooks or Schoon. Shout out to Schoon Boy Q on Instagram. If you know him, Luke Schoonmaker, you know that tight end we took, that Big Ten tight end. Shout out to all them Big Blue fans. I know my guy RC down here is a big Michigan fan. I know my guy Cuff out here. Where's it, Lady Vice? I can't remember. They both out there. One's a Ohio State. The other one's, well, anyway, you get my point. Shout out to Lady Vice. Shout out to my guy Cuff, Green Bay supporters here from Ohio. As we talk about the Big Ten, you know, this Dallas Cowboys tight end unit essentially drafted from the Big Ten with the Big Four, you know, McKeon, Peyton Hendershot, Jake Ferguson, and now Luke Schoonmaker out of Michigan. Yeah, he could be because he's, quite frankly, the same number as Dalton Schultz, built like Dalton Schultz. I mean, it might as well Dak just have double vision when it comes to Dalton Schultz and Luke Schoonmaker, same number. I mean, they're essentially built the same, but I see you out there. Appreciate you, Park Ranger, putting in them reps, baby. That's how you get them gains. You know, a lot of folks don't want to get them gains, and quite frankly, you can't get gains, man. You can't be Gym Rat of the Month. You can't be in the gym looking cute and not participating in the workouts, if you know what I mean. But Park Ranger actually says Pollard on the big question of the show. Woo, I don't know. You mean Pollard is going to be, catching a lot of passes in this new Texas Coast offense? Prototype going contrarian here on the show today says, I'm going to pick the dark horse in Gallup. Boy, you know, the reemergence of Gallup would be critical. If we could get the 80 to 85% of the Gallup we had before the injury with Cooks and Lamb, can't forget about our guy Tolbert, who is going to make this 53-man roster. I don't know if there's going to be more on that. Dro's tapping in out there from Bakersfield says, Cowboys VIP is outrageous. I'm telling you, they might raise the prices. I know what you're talking about for folks that's not understanding what my boots on crown Cowboy cousin out there is talking about. The VIP is outrageous at DC United. You know, you can get in the front, the middle, or the back when it comes to training camp. You know, you're probably paying for all that construction Jerry Jones doing out there with them folks complaining, pun intended, about their view being obstructed. But yeah, it's getting expensive, y'all, especially to keep up with the Joneses, right? As we go through some more of the content here today, like we opened up with the NFL Fan of the Year. Shout out to our guy Chase Smith. Shout out to our guy Suitman. James Wright voted NFL Fan of the Year for the Dallas Cowboys. We actually show you how you can do that. You can either vote for yourself. Somebody can vote for you. If you always wondered, like, how do those folks win Fan of the Year? Like, they got it right with both our guys, especially one in Montana, and then our favorite Cowboy cousin down there from the DFW Metroplex. in his cool little slingy dedicated to his late wife, Rosie, out there, right? We see you, Soup Man, but we teach you how to become NFL Fan of the Year. I mean, what other blogger, what other vlogger, what other page is out here giving you this kind of content and showing you the ropes out here, essentially, when it comes to this lifestyle of being a Cowboy? But let's get to that question, y'all. Who is going to be Dak Prescott's safety blanket? Troy Park must be talking about that VIP price. Still says $250 a day is crazy. Wow. Well, they know folks like bloggers and vloggers want to get out there and they can get stars and subscriptions on social media with that kind of boots on ground content. So don't forget, Jerry kind of like a casino. He's not going to leave no money on the table. We've been streaming live here in the gym for about 25 minutes. Remember, if you're just watching for the first time, leave me a comment. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube and live where I got about 30 followers over there on Twitter. And my guy, Troy Park, been holding it down for me. Appreciate you, Troy Park, baby. Shout out to them 30 followers over there on Twitter. You know, the platform owned by Elon Musk. I mean, I know y'all been keeping up and heard the news now about Elon Musk and a potential fight with Mark Zuckerberg. Y'all see Mark Zuckerberg out there flexing on the ground, doing this whole Threads thing with Twitter. You know, we talking a little social media here. Shout out to all my fan base creators out there that understand what I'm talking about. You know, we got two owners of platforms trying to duke it out, but the whole platforms don't even work. Pun intended, Zooks. Kelly says, DCU, Dallas Cowboys United took their package levels off their website. Wonder what's up with Dak. Thank you for that live feedback right there. As Troy says, I wonder why. Exactly. You know, they got, the Cowboys in a little bit of some hot water down there in camp, right? You know, if you haven't been keeping up, that's the type of things we do here during the offseason. You know, with most NFL fans, your typical NFL fan is asleep right now in a deep coma. They done turn off all their notifications. They didn't put all their merchandise in the closet, stuffed it under the bed, you know, put it in them plastic bins that when you walk into Walmart, you know, you see all them plastic bins in there where you can store stuff. You know, they put it in the plastic bins, stick it out in the garage. You know, they don't go out there and start doing all that stuff and pulling on their plastic bins and turning on their notifications until around training camp or preseason, right? So shout out to everybody that's built different here. We know not all NFL fans are built the same. But yeah, we got them fans out there complaining. I don't necessarily know if they're Cowboy fans, but I mean, per that report, and we shared that on the timeline with the full story in the comments, you know, there was a mom complaining about construction workers looking at her and her daughter in the morning, peering through their glass door while they're in their pajamas. So I don't know what's up with that, but maybe they got some things going on. They're going to get worked out. I hadn't got any feedback from that meeting. So if you know somebody that went to that meeting out there in Oxnard, make sure you get them in a DM. I'd like to get some feedback from them here on Built Different Group. Kelly says, now they only have the free package up. That old trick. Eat, sleep, repeat. That's right, baby. Built different. As we talk about some more content here, you know, how many boxing fans do we have on the platform? How many of y'all keep up with boxing? I got any big time boxing fans here that are like diehard Cowboy fans? Like, I like boxing, like I follow it a little bit, but I'll just tell you, it's nowhere near how engaged I am on my Cowboys content. But how many boxing fans do we have here? We got a big fight coming up this month on Dak's birthday, as we alluded to that. We have the Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford fight going down on July 29th. You know, that's when we're going to be announcing all of the Gym Rat of the Month supporters. So shout out to all of the green badges. How can you get involved today? We're doing the Quest for the Six Challenge. So if you're brand new, you want to get involved with becoming a Gym Rat here, like many of my Cowboy cousins here. First 6 of y'all that sign up, you have a chance to win what's in this package. We are back on the Quest for the Six. So hit that green badge. If you want your name called as Gym Rat of the Month on July 29th, we got this Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford fight going down, y'all. That's right. And in case you didn't know, Errol Spence is a big-time Dallas Cowboys fan. I know most of my diehards have seen Micah Parsons out there supporting Errol Spence since his last fight with Ugas, right? And essentially, after Errol won that fight, he called out the Terrence Crawford fight, which we're going to see on the 29th. But Errol Spence is literally converting Dallas Cowboy fans into boxing fans. So we've shared that article here with you on Official America's Team. I'll get that pulled up here in a minute. But who do y'all got? Do y'all got Spence or do you have Crawford? A lot of folks are saying Crawford is going to win this fight. You know, Micah picked Spence. You know, I'm a roll with Spence. Who do you have out there? I want to hear from them boxing fans. Throw your comments up there while I pull up this Errol Spence article. Y'all just want to make sure if you're a big-time boxing fan, this is the type of content that you get over here. You know, we're not your average meme dealer. You know, I do share a lot of memes here. We do like to make fun of Eagle fans a lot. You know, that's how we kind of get through the day sometimes, you know, because quite frankly, they won the draft and they're going back to the Super Bowl. Right, Eagles fans? We see y'all out there, baby. But when you go to OAT, you can see since Spence's last fight there, we even got a picture with the playmaker. Shout out to the playmaker out there, baby. You follow him on Instagram. He's been active out there a little bit. He's still dealing with that case, but we got this fight coming up. Y'all know my guy Micah has been supporting Errol Spence. Errol Spence is a big-time Cowboys fan. We talk about that in the article here. As we see, he called out this Crawford fight. He says, everybody knows who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next. This, of course, after his last fight when he beat you guys. He says, that's the fight that I want. That's the fight that everybody wants. I'm going to go over there and take his shit too. Ooh. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt. Oh, wait, it's going to be on July 29th. As you see our guy, Errol Spence, with the belts, baby. That's how you get the belts, because he's in the gym. No days off. As we can see here, there's also a reply from Crawford on the fight. He says, congratulations, great fight. Now the real fight happens. No more talk. No more side of the street. Let's go. Uh-oh. What's he really saying out there? Where them Terrence Crawford fans out there that riding with Terrence Crawford? What's he mean when he means no more side of the street? But yeah, we got the big fight coming up. So we want to make sure if you're a boxing fan and you're a Cowboys fan, it's kind of like double whammy for you over here. Mike Rock in the gym, not surprised, says, I actually do boxing myself. I love it. Shout out to our guy, Mike Rock, who has went from a user on social media. He actually has the 6th Sense. I'm going to talk about that here in a minute as we get ready to wrap up the show. But shout out to my guy, Mike Rock, creator now. He's on YouTube. He's on Instagram. You can follow him on his weight loss, on his fitness journey, as he's talking about boxing over there. We got fans going from users to fan-base creators. We're going to talk about that here on how Mike Rock developed the 6th Sense. I see Troy Park. He says, not laughing at the Eagles. Yeah, you know, they've been kind of quiet. I think they're a little worried. They're trying to figure out how this defense is going to repeat what they did last season. Eddie says, I'm not a boxing fan, but that's cool. And that's what we do here at Built Different Group. We talk about all things fan-centric. Quite frankly, when I started OAT back in 2016 and started understanding how fan clubs and this whole culture of being boots on ground was out there, we wanted to share that with everybody. So we like to cover all things fans. You know, a lot of folks may be in the comments and mad, like, you know, sporadic posting. Like, look, I'm not no vlogger that keeps up with the latest and I just share everybody's tweet. I take somebody else's tweet and share it. That's like a content aggregator. You know, we're creating our own content here, but we're fan-centric. But if you're not a boxing fan, that's cool, man. We like it for those that are, because like we say, if you're a boxing fan and a Cowboy fan, it's like a double whammy for you. As we move through the rest of the content. So that's the big fight that we got going down on the 29th. Don't forget, your quarterback's birthday is on July 29th. So they're going to always do something special there at training camp for our guy, Dak Prescott. I don't know. Maybe that's what they're building over there at training camp. Maybe they're building something to keep him out of the sun so they can celebrate Dak Prescott's birthday. We've been live here in the gym 35 minutes. Let's go raise that bar if you haven't done already. If you cannot donate stars, if you cannot become a subscriber, you know, when you come to the barbecue over here like we talked about, make sure if you walk out with something, you know, you give a little something. So if you can't put in on the plates, if you can't put in on the bottles, make sure you put in on the content. I need a like, a comment, or a share on this, and especially if you like the content, because when you do that, it's going to make sure that my content stays in front of your timeline on your feed faster here when it comes to Facebook and YouTube. Now, all my 30 followers over there on Twitter, shout out to my guy, Troy Park, who's literally my right-hand man. I don't tweet. I don't do anything over there, but we're live there too because we don't want to miss those folks and those 30 Cowboy fans over there on Twitter. But I'm BG the Cowboys Unifier, man. This has been the second supporter Saturday, y'all, of 4 that we got going this month. And before we get out of here, just getting back to that big question of the show, who will be Dak's new safety blanket? I don't know in this new Texas Coast offense. I think anything could happen. Where's my girl? Kelly Collins out there on the East Coast, right? Anything could happen. You know, maybe it could be Tony Pollard. Who knows under this Texas Coast offense what we're going to see, but I'll guarantee you this. If you go into training camp, going to the preseason game, shout out to all of the Pacific Northwest Cowboy fans up here. Dallas Cowboys are set to visit next month, August 19th, take on the Seattle Seahawks. We're not going to see any of the starters. You know, we're going to see these men trying to make this team, trying to make this 53-man squad. We don't know who the running backs are even going to be on this team. So you're going to have folks duking it out, trying to make this 53-man roster. So shout out to all of the PNW Cowboy fans. It's looking like there's going to be a tailgate. We're trying to get some information flowing, getting some things going there. So make sure if you're a supporter of the content, if you want to go to that or you want to get informed on that first, become a supporter of the content. I'll be sharing that with all my green badges first. There she goes. She said, anything is definitely possible and can happen. That's an inside joke between me and my girl going back to South Beach. You know where the Dallas Cowboys are set to travel to this season again. Shout out to my guy, Bob, the Cannabis Cowboy, originally out there from Miami. You know, square groupers, baby. We still going to do our thing. We know Bob's out there recovering. They had a lot of rain out there, kind of tore up Bob's studio. So shout out to the Cannabis Cowboy. Yeah, that goes back to 2018 at Fan Zone event out there in Miami. Shout out to my girl, Kelly, tapping in today. She says, I'll be there. That's my Green Bay supporter up here in the PNW. I'll see you, Sherry. I can't wait. Definitely going to have to get up with you and make sure we get those prizes to those folks that it's owed to. Again, thank you if you've won something here. Thank you for your patience. All my green badges understand, and they know why. And if you want to know why, I got some exclusive content over there on the supporter group that once you become a supporter of this content, only my supporters see. So shout out to all the green badge supporters. They know what they're getting for their money over there. But it's another supporter Saturday. We've been in the gym here today. I think Dak's safety blanket is going to be a receiver, quite frankly. I just don't know which one. It might be Cooks. You know, that 4.3 speed still kills. And for all the teams that had film on the Cowboys that always knew that the slant on the defense was they didn't have no burner, well, with Cooks back there, you know, it's only going to take a few 2, 3, 4, maybe 50, 11 bombs or something like that before he racks up another 1,000-yard season. Or could we have 3 safety blankets for Dak Prescott? Could he have up to 3, maybe 2 different 3 safety blankets this season? Between Lamb and the reemergence of Gallup too, we could have 3 1,000-yard receivers this season. It is possible. Like my girl Kelly says, anything is possible. That's right, Park Ranger. Green badges up. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Like we said, we're not posting as much on YouTube, but definitely want to go through YouTube right quick before we get out of here. I want to share something else with y'all. How many of y'all have been seeing the devaluation of the running back going on right before our eyes? Show of hands. How many of y'all have actually been watching the devaluation of the running back right before our eyes, as we seen the Dallas Cowboys years ago pay Ezekiel Elliott a whole bunch of money as a running back, and now running backs can't even get upwards of double figures in the millions for a contract? How many of y'all been watching the devaluation of the running back this season? I need some comments in the comment section, y'all. But great question there, Eddie. Before we get into the running back here, he says, what are your thoughts on Cole Beasley? He looking for a job, but he would love to come back and play with them boys. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, after all, Post Malone made a song called Wow about, Dak Prescott and a Hail Mary, 4th down, touchdown. Hey, you know how it goes. But yeah, Cole Beasley, I don't know. Dallas Cowboys got upwards of $20 million. Could they make it work? I don't know. But when it comes to the devaluation of the running backs here, when we get inside of 33 days, a Tony Dorsett TD, where are all my Tony Dorsett fans out there? We've been doing the NFL countdown here on the Built Different group and also on YouTube sporadically. But if you've been tapped in with the NFL countdown here on BDG, y'all know we're how many days away now? 57 days. Well, when we get down to 33, I'm dropping this special on Tony Dorsett. Now, it's not all brand new material, but there's a message inside this, and it comes from the words of Tony Dorsett's mouth himself. As you can see the comment there, it says, over the years, I have been taken for granted. What? Well, if you're not on YouTube, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this link to that. That is going to be published 33 days away from kicking off Dallas Cowboys football. I'm going to place that link in the comment section. So make sure if you're on YouTube or if you're not, subscribe to me on YouTube. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Y'all know, y'all already seen the notification. But if you're on Facebook or if you're on Twitter, make sure you click that link. Join the discussion over there, because if you look at these words by Tony Dorsett, over the years, I have been taken for granted. Sounds kind of familiar. And what we're going to talk about as training camp kicks off next Supporter Saturdays, in lieu of the devaluation of the running back, and it's going to be, have the Dallas Cowboys contributed to this with their own? As we see TD talk about, over the years, I have been taken for granted. So make sure, if you're not connected with me over there, sub to YouTube. Make sure you turn on your notifications for that. When we get to our countdown on a Tony Dorsett, which my guy Eddie says he loves TD. When we get down to a Tony Dorsett 33 days, we're going to be looking more into, why did Tony Dorsett actually say that he felt he'd been taken for granted? Coming out of Pittsburgh, Heisman Trophy winner, rushed for more yards than any other man in collegiate history. Went to the Dallas Cowboys on the best team of the Cowboys in the time. We all know how that history went down, but this is going to be a great reflection on looking back at the running backs, especially the Dallas Cowboys running backs, because you can name a few running backs the Dallas Cowboys had turmoil with, especially when it came to getting paid, right? I mean, after all, Tony Dorsett went to the Denver Broncos. I mean, Emmitt Smith went to the Arizona Cardinals. And now Ezekiel Elliott, I mean, he could go to another team. He hasn't landed there yet. There's now reports coming out that he could land with the Eagles. I don't know about that one. And then Tony Pollard is currently on a franchise tag, coming off an injury. And it looks like there's going to be no long-term deal going in onto July 17th, when that deadline for the franchise tags are due. Will this be the last year we see Tony Pollard in a Dallas Cowboys uniform? All of this is going to be summed up in that video. So make sure, if you're on YouTube, click that link in the comments. I placed it there for you. Join the discussion and learn why Tony Dorsett says, over the years, I feel like I have been forgotten. I mean, this is the running back position as a whole in the whole NFL now, y'all. This is not just a Dallas Cowboys trends. Shout out to Sherry. She says, he is one of my fan blades. Okay, not really following what you mean right there. But like I said, we're on YouTube, and there's the link there on the Built Different group page. And if you're live on Cowboy Cousins or OAT, make sure you jump over to the comment section on BDG. If you don't see it there, or just send me a DM and I'll send you the link. We want to make sure everybody is tapped in on YouTube over there, as we got some different kind of content going up over there on YouTube, some different kind of projects over there on YouTube. So shout out to my guy Mike Rock. Shout out to all of the fan base creators that are on YouTube as we get back to the Sixth Sense. How many of y'all seen that movie, The Sixth Sense? As we get ready to wrap up here, we're 45 minutes in the gym. The goal is to be an hour workout, if not less. So tap back in as we transition to the conclusion of the show with the most important, what we save for last. So shout out to my guy Mike Rock, who is now a fan base creator, y'all. What is a fan base creator and how do you get there? Well, you got to have the Sixth Sense, quite frankly. You say, well, what is Sixth Sense? Well, I'm not talking about the Sixth Sense. You know, the movie where the kid says, I see dead people. Not that one. Not that Sixth Sense. Not your literal, actual Sixth Sense. But the Sixth Sense when it comes to fans of your favorite 32 NFL football teams, right? As we open up the show here, talking about keeping it football. Well, we know in the Dallas Cowboy fan base, we're not the only creators, especially on YouTube, from the other 31. You know, there's other bloggers, vloggers out there, fan base creators, I like to call them, who have developed this Sixth Sense. You know, and it's basically how do you convert yourself from a user on social media? How many of y'all like that word anyway? I don't like being called that. I'm a user. Make it sound like it's some kind of drug transaction or something. You know what I mean? Like a dopamine transaction, you know, pun intended. But yeah, you got to have the Sixth Sense. And this is just launched on Amazon, my 7th ebook, y'all. Now, I said my 6th before, but maybe I was a little ahead of the game. It's the 7th ebook I got up on Amazon that you can read on Amazon Kindle. You don't need a Kindle reader to read it. You can just download the app on the iOS platform or the Android platform. Download the Kindle app, and you can check it out there for less than a cup of Starbucks coffee for $2.99. Learn how to develop the Sixth Sense, baby. You know, we've been doing this since 2016 here. And quite frankly, you know, a lot of folks may be just seeing this content for the first time. Well, you say you're one of those fans that get tired of Jerry Jones just leeching all the money off the fans and the fan base, right? Well, stop spending so much time on your phone, which is about 2.5 hours a day per Statista. I talk about this in my ebook on Amazon, but you can get the Sixth Sense, learn about what the Sixth Sense is. Shout out to all my green badges have already purchased and started reading. But if you want to understand what that Sixth Sense is, not the movie, remember? You know, how to convert your mind state from a user on social media to a fan base creator, much like my guy Mike Rock here has done on YouTube. He's got his own channel now. Mike Rock has been a fan of the content here. 2+ years he's been supporting the content here, especially on Facebook. 2+ years he is a local fan here. I've met on several occasions in the Pacific Northwest. And that is how you convert your user mind state from, you know, being on a user on a social media platform to a fan base creator. I mean, if chances are, if you're sharing content around your favorite football team each and every Sunday, why continue to do it for free? You know, most fans get caught up in that rat race. Kind of ironic as we talk about gym rats here of the month of July, but you get caught up in that dopamine rat race. Look, let me tell you, man, likes, that notification, that little red notification you get, likes and all that other type of social currency, man, it don't pay you nothing. And if you knew that you invested 2.5 hours a day on your phone, I mean, what kind of return on investment are you getting? And that's how you convert your mind state from a fan base or from a social media user to a fan base creator. So shout out to those folks like Caitlin, Bob the Cannabis Cowboy, Sam the admin. I mean, multitudes of fans in OAT here since 2016 have went from becoming users on social media to fan base creators. I talk about all of them in that book. So make sure y'all go over there and get it, like I said, for less than a cup of coffee. You can't put up stuff free on Amazon no more. They don't let you put the books for free. So I put it for the least price possible at $2.99. And if you can't afford stars here, if you can't afford to become a subscriber, you can do $2.99 on Amazon. I'll place that link in the comment section. That way you can develop the Sixth Sense this season too. So shout out to my guy Mike Rock on developing his Sixth Sense over there. But that's been the workout here today. The link for that Sixth Sense ebook on Amazon is in the comments, y'all. We went through a lot of content here today. Shout out to all of the green badges. Shout out to the gym rats here. This is your second prize, FOCO scarf and gloves. You know, we're set to go to Buffalo, where it's real cold in December. You know, where they got this dude up there who led the whole NFL with 19 turnovers. I mean, 14 picks and 5 fumbles, right? I mean, he led the whole NFL in turnovers, but they got him on the cover of Madden. Yeah, you're going to need these. It's going to be cold up there in Buffalo, baby. But shout out to all of the green badges holding it down here. Been live here on another Supporter Saturday. We got 2 more to go. 2 more new prizes will be unveiled. Make sure you hit that green badge if you want to become a gym rat of the month. After all, my guy, Mike Rock, who leads the way continually. He continues to change and evolve his game. As you've seen him tapped into the gym 10 minutes early before the show. I mean, he's literally getting gains in the gym here with us every Supporter Saturday and also out there in real life. And that's where it's most important. We want to see y'all get them games. I'm BG the Cowboys Unifier, baby. Shout out to all 32 NFL fans here on Supporter Saturday. Hopefully everybody has a wonderful Saturday out there. I look forward to linking up with my guy, RC, here in a few hours. All my supporters are going to know all about it. Hit that green badge below. Become a supporter today. Learn how to be a gym rat of the month and check out that cool conversation we got going on over there where I share content I don't share anywhere else on those platforms. So shout out to everybody on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook here today. Shout out to the green badges. Shout out to all them boots on ground fans out there at SportsCon. Make sure you turn on your notifications. And if you really like what you've seen today, become a supporter and become part of the fun. That's quite frankly what makes us build different here. We'll see y'all in the gym on the next Supporter Saturday.